All right, guys, welcome to my very first Become Your Own Hero video on my new YouTube channel. Listen, guys, I could really use your support. My channel is going to be devoted to men and boys, whether 8, 10, 13, 18 years old, it doesn't matter. And I'm going to teach you how to overcome any mental health challenges and obstacles that you might be experiencing. And I will show you how to convert it into a superpower. And so this specific video is going to be devoted to you kids who are struggling with, maybe some things that have happened in your life with your parents that you blame them for. And I was speaking to a woman who had 2 boys, and both of them are struggling with mental health issues, a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression. And maybe some of you are experiencing this. And what it really comes down to is they have a lot of abandonment issues with their father. And so what I really want you to understand first and foremost is that we all will experience hardships in our life. We'll all experience things that we really don't understand. But what I want you to understand, and please understand I'm saying this from my heart when I'm telling you this, that children are the most selfish people on the planet. Because the only thing, and I'll include myself as when I was a child a long, long time ago, is that the only thing that we're ever truly ever focused on is ourselves. And so we create this model of the world at a very young age through things that happen to us with our parents, whether it's divorce or the way they treat us, maybe the way they talk to us, and maybe the things that they have done in the family, whether successful or a lot of the failures that are associated with a lot of the things that you struggle with. And so what I really want you to understand first and foremost, at a very young age, a lot of the things that mold us are the beliefs that we create around the experiences that happen for us, not to us. Okay, so if you are struggling right now, I don't care if you're 13, if you're 18, if you're in your 20s or 30s, or even if you're my age, even still, I catch myself a lot of things that have happened to me since I was a kid. And it still replays over and over again in your head. And you can start to get a little hard on your parents. And what's really allowed me and been helpful to me is now that I'm a father of 3, is it's really allowed me to see things from a different lens now that I am a father. And just to realize, especially for you kids who are watching this, I want you to understand that one of the hardest things you'll ever do in your life is be a parent. And I'm not making excuses if you have been mistreated. That is never, ever, ever tolerated. And I've made a ton of mistakes with my kids that I wish I could take back, but I can't. And so there are a lot of experiences that I've had as a child that I wish were different or that my parents would have done differently. But what I really want to do is help you to overcome these beliefs that you have around the thoughts that you have around the experience that happened long ago that aren't serving you. And so the first thing you need to do is you have to get out of maybe feeling like you're blaming yourself for a lot of the things that happened. And what I want you to do is really just take the time to grant yourself forgiveness. Number 1, forgive your parents for anything that they've done, any wrongdoing that they've done either to you or to maybe your, the other partner. And also take the weight off your shoulders and give yourself forgiveness for viewing the world in this perspective with the problems that you're associating with your parents and that you've had. Now, maybe you've experienced a lot of hardships with your parents, and I really feel for you. And what I want you to stop doing is really stop doing bad things that are harming you and hurting you and not making your life any better. Okay, so first and foremost, maybe you don't have any power like I had with a lot of things that have happened in my life with my parents and the upbringing. But what you want to do is take your power back by granting yourself the freedom to see things from a different perspective. Okay, we are humans and your parents are humans too. And grant them the freedom of imperfection. Grant yourself the freedom to understand that they are just as imperfect as you, and you too have made a lot of mistakes. And I want you to take that perspective on for a second and maybe just look back in your life, whether you're a teenager in your 20s or 30s, and maybe make a list of all the things that you've done that have hurt other people. And maybe then you can see that you're not much different than your parents. And maybe you can be a little less hard on them. And maybe if you can learn to do that, you will learn to be a little less hard on yourself. And so how do you move from here? How do you stop being hard on yourself, hard on your parents, and being consumed by anger and resentment and abandonment? And just maybe pick up the phone and say, you know what, today, I forgive you. I forgive you for the wrongdoings. I forgive you for all the times that I've been hurt. But most of all, I forgive myself for viewing the world in this perspective, because it's done nothing but harm me, harm our relationships. And I'm telling you, if you can't forgive, then it's like you're drinking your own poison every day and you're expecting your enemy to die. And that was a quote from Nelson Mandela. So how to become your own hero from this? You have to fucking stop seeing your parents as something that should be perfect. They are not. Okay, so what I want you to start doing right now is saying, you know what, they're just like me. They are imperfect. And if they've done bad things to you, okay, and if there's things that are unforgivable in your heart and in your mind, then you just need to trust me. I'm not telling you to allow them back into your life if you don't have them in there right now, but grant them the forgiveness so you can be free. Free from all the anger, free from all the anxiety, free from all the depression, free from all the disgusting filth that keeps spinning off in your head. Okay, if you want to be free in this world, you got to lift the burden off of your shoulders, first and foremost. And the second thing I want you to do is I want you to start realizing what things you can be grateful for from your parents. Even if it doesn't make any sense, even if it doesn't seem like it's something that should be conceivable with what's happened to you. But what you can do and be grateful for is that they gave you the gift of life. Okay, so maybe that's the only thing. Maybe you can also add, if you choose to be open and optimistic, that they gave you shelter and food and opportunity and schooling and sports. And maybe they took you to certain places. Okay, you need to fill your head with gratitude. Gratitude is the attitude for happiness. It's the gateway. It's what opens the door first. Okay, and so if you're watching this and you're a teenager or you're in your 20s or maybe even your 30s, and because of these things that have happened to you in your life, these hardships, these experiences that you've had with your parents, and the things that you're going to are alcohol, drugs, junk food, pornography, anger, resentment, whatever these things are, it's time to let go. And it's time to stop blaming people for the pain that you're experiencing. You see, suffering is an option, and that's what you're doing when you continue to spin off these things in your head of the experiences that you've had with your parents, maybe long ago, or maybe even yesterday. Take charge of your mind and stand guard at the door and allow yourself to be free today. So please, guys, if you are watching this, I could use your help. Please hit the like button. It allows YouTube to pick up that people like the material that I'm offering to you for free, and it can eventually get on their algorithms and start spreading the word. So please hit the like button. The notification bell will allow you to know when I do my next video. And if you don't mind, hit the subscribe button and maybe share this with someone who might be going through a hardship. You might know someone who might be a man, a young boy, or a teenager, or someone who's just embarking out on their life after finishing school, who might need some inspiration. And trust me, you guys, you don't know who needs help. Men's suicide rate is 3 times higher than women. And that is why I'm devoting this channel to helping men and boys to overcome their mental health challenges, to give them a place where they can get real information from someone who has overcome a lot of their challenges and obstacles and is now sharing that with you. And trust me, I still have struggles. I still have things to overcome. But through my own growth and contribution of sharing this information with you, I find hope and reason to create a little more enlightenment in your day and in your mind, and find freedom from yourself. And so become your own hero today. And like I tell my kids at the end of every day, if you are gonna dream today, make sure you dream big.